my regular weekly co-host, Mr. Gregory Smith. And how are you?
Mike, I am doing great, enjoying life. Life is always good as long as you get rid of the bad people.
Okay. Holidays were good, no problem.
I was working. I
Okay.
worked both Christmas, New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, and all the holidays in between. But it's okay. I made the money. They chose not to.
Well, there you go. Well, this evening we have another very special guest that's been on the show. Actually, this is his third appearance. He's been on, the last time he came on, he was actually extremely candid about his personal life and history and things of issue that he's been dealing with for a multitude of years. We have once again on our show this evening, Mr. Anthony Jackson. And it is absolutely an honor with having you back on the show again.
My pleasure.
This is actually your third visit. And again, I do want to say publicly, before we start the interview, how appreciative I was for your candidacy on the, as a matter of fact, the last two previous interviews. Mm-hmm. You talked about things, personal matters regarding your life and battles that you face and have faced with the public that a lot of people probably wouldn't have disclosed that type of information about themselves. But I want to thank you for being honest, because I do believe that in your being honest and candid the way that you were, you in all likelihood may have even saved somebody's life in doing that, or either preventing them from going to prison or something of that caliber. So, but again, thank you for that. This evening, you said you had a few things you need to get off your chest, though. So I don't know if it, did you come to fight? Did we got to go back to our root? Because you know how we do. You called me and said that you got some things you get off your chest. I'm thinking, me and you might have to, I might have to put a whooping on you, because you know how the routine. But what's going on though? How's things been going with you over the last few months since you've been on the air?
Well, actually, things are going good for me right now, Mike. My dad was ill, and actually he's still recovering, but he came home last week. Mm-hmm. He was ill. He was in the hospital for a couple of months and nursing home for a while. So he's home, and that actually made my new year for me.
Yeah. I have been, I always try to keep in contact with you.
Right.
And then I said, well, every year for New Year's, no matter where he is, I mean, it could be anywhere in the country, touch base for New Year's. Right. And that type of, if any other holiday passes, Christmas, all birthdays, all that type of thing, that's irrelevant. Right. But New Year's, never. Right. And I didn't hear from you. And and then I was calling down, down to your dad's house and wasn't getting an answer. Right. And I had been calling there all along. Right. I keep in touch with him too, make sure he's okay. And I had no idea that he was in the hospital, right. And he was in Battle Creek actually. Yeah. But it's good to see that he's doing good, and you look like you're doing a lot more better too, man.
Well, you change things and things change for you.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. What's changed since the last time you were on the show?
Wow, a lot of things have changed. I'm very proud to say, and I'm very happy to say that I am no longer on probation.
Okay. There you go.
I was sentenced to 2 years probation, and I did almost 40 months. Mm-hmm. And I got a probation officer that was wanted to be a hardball. Mm-hmm. I had a non-drug related or non-violent crime, and he wanted to treat me like a criminal.
Well, he probably needed to. He probably did the right thing.
Well,
knowing you the way that I know you, I think he probably did the right thing.
Well, I never had no problem shaking my tail.
Right. That's why I said that.
But anyway, I had my probation revoked.
Yeah.
I had to do a little time in jail, and I'd like to talk about that too a little bit later in the show.
Okay.
There were some things and some issues that arose while I was incarcerated that I think need to be vented about the way things are operating at the Kalamazoo County Jail.
That's where they had you houses in the county jail?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that you had went back to, that you were in jail.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that now. Let's hit on it now a little bit. How long were you in there?
I was, had I known what I know now, I'd have did it a year and a half, 2 years ago, because the sentencing guideline for my crime was a 0 to 3, which is actually the bare minimum. So they couldn't have given me no more than 30 to 45 days in jail. I didn't know that. So I did 30 days. And actually I only did 26.
So when you did those days, that expunged, you were done with parole. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And you could have did that a year and a half ago.
I could have did it 2 years ago.
Okay. So knowledge is the key. Where'd you find that out? Would you read a
Well,
law book?
actually, I have a few acquaintances that are previous felons and things of that nature.
Jailhouse lawyers.
Yeah.
Look at here, brother. They're doing you wrong. I know I'm on my way to prison for life, but
Right.
you can get out though.
Right. I give you
So
this
it was
advice
on
for
your
free.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, though.
So anyway, they said, as opposed to jump through all these hoops and deal with the stuff, just have them revoke it, put you in front of a judge and do some days.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that was the best out for me.
What's your biggest complaint about the Kalamazoo County Jail? I know in our hometown, me and Greg's hometown, Muskegon, that the Muskegon County Jail is horrendous. I mean, I've actually walked through it, for a tour.
Right.
There was a special tour that was done through WVS 103.7, a popular radio station I was air personality on before there. And we took kids, troubled kids, some kids that were, not behaving right or, might get ready to go down the wrong trail. We took them, on a tour. And it was a no-holds-barred tour.
Right.
It wasn't one of those little cupcake tours like, well, okay, here goes the gym.
Right.
Here goes the cafeteria,
Right.
They saw it. They actually went right through looking at murderers, convicted murderers that were on their way to prison for life, sex offenders, child molesters, bank robbers. I mean, everything. Everybody was there. The only thing that divided them from the inmates was 2 or 3 feet.
Right.
You got iron bars, and you got 3 feet of space between you, and you're sitting here talking to a murderer who may have killed, killed up 2 or 3 people.
Right.
And so, but the living conditions were horrendous, and it's been a long-going debate in the county, in the community of Muskegon, with concerns about the county jail and even the way that the inmates are, treated, and it's kind of like it's inhumane. I would agree. Okay, and that's not knocking that if you do a crime, in my opinion, jails are not made to be hotels.
That's right. That's right.
But even in any condition, to me, when I walked in and saw, I felt like I was in a zoo.
Okay.
Okay, and it's nothing that I ever want to see again in my life. And I voiced that on radio the next day when I went on radio.
Right.
It was the most inhumane thing I've ever witnessed, was to walk through the county jail and look at all these young people and different age variations of people. And I saw, I think they call them holding cells, where it's like it's glass, and it's nothing but concrete, slabs for them to lay, no mattress, just concrete, literally, and it's no joke, not exaggerated, concrete slabs. And they had individuals, in some separate, but then I saw one that may have had about 10 people packed in together.
Right.
And it just reminded me of as you're walking through it, as kind of like looking at an exhibit in a zoo.
Yeah. Right.
And it just really was sickening to see. But what's the story there? Is it somewhat the same setup to where you got the glass and it's kind of like you guys are on display if you're in there? What is it like? What's your problem with it?
Well, at the Kalamazoo County Jail, it was built in the 70s, and they have bars. It's not one of the ultra modern cubes, as they call them, where you got the individual cells with one man in each cell.
No.
They have holding cells, like you said, and some of them hold up to 6 to 10 people.
Right, that's what I saw. I saw that. Okay.
And again, and the deputies voice it. Jail's not designed to be a day camp or,
I agree
or
with
a
them,
hotel.
though. On that, I do agree.
And I do agree
Right.
with them to a point. And to touch bases on what you're saying, I mean, there's black mold growing in the showers.
Same thing in Muskegon,
there's rust. I mean,
same thing in Muskegon.
you can catch hepatitis. I mean, there's so many different diseases and germs and stuff that you're exposed to just being in the environment to where it's actually unhealthy.
I agree.
And
I agree.
I think.
Why do people keep going there? Why
Well,
did they keep going?
Now it's the first of the year. It's January. I mean, right now it's snowing outside. It's pretty cold. And a lot of people will commit a petty crime just to have somewhere for shelter.
I always thought that when people said that in the wintertime, you purposefully would do something to get sentenced for a few months, 3-4 months, or the length of the winter. And then right with the spring, the way.
Right, it'd be about time for you to come out. Well,
so that happens.
Yes, actually it does.
So 3 squares and a cot.
Right. Well, the squares aren't squares anymore. The trades at the Kalamazoo County Jail are light as a feather. From the trustee program and housed me in solitary confinement.
Because she said that you swore
because
you felt threatened.
Exactly right.
Well, you do have a sharp tongue.
Well, I do have a sharp tongue.
You have a sharp tongue.
But at the same time.
You do go off. Really, you got a short temper. No, no. Because see what you're doing, and I want to make sure you're fair about this, man. I'm going to have you come on the show. Because I would have wanted you to call her name anyway, because you know what's going to happen? I could be sued. You're trying to set me up for failure.
Well, that's
what I think you meant when you said I got some stuff to go. That's what that last interview. But no, all jokes aside, though. Now, admittedly, okay, you do have a short temper. You do.
Sometimes.
Okay, you got a short temper.
Working on it.
Okay, you got a sharp tongue.
I say what's on my mind.
There you go. You don't, from what I've experienced and witnessed, you don't take direction very well. You don't take criticism very well. So if you was mopping the floor and they say you're not mopping it right, we think you ought to go back over it. Well, we finna clown.
Well,
am I right?
Using that as an example,
exactly.
I would clown because
exactly.
my dad had a janitorial service for 23 years and I grew up in the business.
So you know it inside out.
I know what I'm doing.
Okay, so she lied.
Absolutely.
Just out the blue.
Well,
to the degree of putting you in solitary confinement to where when you walked into prison, not prison, but into the county jail, when you walked in and you were evaluated, as you said, I guess they do that with all inmates.
Absolutely.
You were evaluated, they determined you were not a high risk. Placed you on trustee, which is, the title trustee is
exactly what it says.
That's a good thing in prison, in jail.
That's
when you're
right.
incarcerated.
That's right.
A lot of freedom, a little bit more freedom. So that's the status you get walking in.
Right.
Then you end up in solitary confinement, which is the
maximum right.
level of security. How far from the time that you walked in? You said you were there 30 days, 26 days, to where you did the trustee position and where you ended up in maximum.
I was there 21 days. I was there 21 days. Now, let me ask you this.
You were in solitary confinement for 21?
No, I was on trustee program for 21 days.
So you spent,
all right.
Okay, gotcha.
I spent 3 weeks on the trustee program. I'm 5 days from being released.
And you end up in solitary confinement.
Reason would I have to do something as stupid enough to...
Which could extend your jail
Exactly,
stay.
Or have my good time revoked and extend my jail time. I'm trying to go home and get out of there.
Do you feel racism is involved? Is she African-American or Caucasian?
She's Caucasian.
Okay, do you feel that?
I don't know if it's racism or personal issues that's her problem.
Why pick on you?
Well, what happened that morning is I worked PM kitchen.
Okay.
All right. 3 times a week, every other week, you have to do AM tray passing, which means you have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and pass breakfast trays to the inmates. Okay. My team failed to wake me up, which for 21 days, I woke everybody on my team up because we're responsible for one another.
Okay, so you overslept. Now we're getting somewhere. Now what happens? So
now,
they wake you up, then what? Honestly, did you get angry when you weren't waked up? Because when you were not awakened by your team, who you've always awoken, if they overslept, they didn't give you the same courtesy. Did you wake up angry?
Actually, I didn't wake up angry.
You end up angry?
No.
You didn't?
No, I did not.
Okay, now you're not being truthful.
Yes, I am.
You're not being truthful.
I am.
No, you're
because
not.
What I did was I went to the bars,
okay,
like I usually do, and ring the buzzer at the gate.
Okay.
All right, as opposed to her from control opening the gate and allowing me to go to my job detail, she came down to the trustee area.
And said what to you?
Why aren't you with the rest of the guys? I
told her you overslept.
I calmly said that I was asleep. I overslept. I wasn't even 5 minutes late.
Okay.
All right. I mean, so it was for the infraction that I did. The most that should have been done to me was a write-up.
But you end up in solitary confinement.
She told me to go pack my stuff and took me upstairs, put me in B South, maximum security, housed me with 3 accused murderers.
Right.
Anyway, finish talking about what
Next.
happened, your horrendous
Next.
circumstance. because the lady set you, hold on, because the lady ended up putting you in solitary confinement because you slept 5 minutes over. And I'm not agreeing with you, and there's more to it than that. You're just not being honest about it. You're going to come on this show. If you're going to come on the show, you got to be honest about it. Because the lady can be watching TV, want to be fair here, man. What happened for real?
You know something? I hope she is watching.
What happened for real?
Because I hope she looks forward to hearing from my attorney again.
You're not
as
being
I'm
honest.
about to say, because you won't allow me to finish.
You're not
what
being
I'm saying.
honest.
I am being honest.
Okay.
Now, back to what the topic at hand is. Again, I was kicked off trustee program, housed in maximum security, with 3 accused murderers. Right. Just so happened.
And you did nothing.
We touched bases on one of the people that's accused of murder that I was being housed with,
right.
which I was a potential witness against this individual in a murder. This man's been to prison before for assault, almost killing the same person that he's accused of murdering, and they housed me in the cell right next door to him.
And he's a witness.
So you go tell me you don't believe it? You don't have to believe it.
Okay, well now I believe you.
No, you ain't got to believe me, bro. Because what that did at that
you get pretty animated about it.
At that point, what that did,
now I believe you.
I like it out here.
What that did was jeopardize my life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it did.
Because she used
poor
poor judgment.
Yeah.
In the job capacity which she has, she could not afford to use poor judgment.
Right.
Because it could cost somebody their life.
That's right. I agree. But one thing for sure, what we got to do for sure, we got to get all that. I know we got to get all that bass out there, boys. So you got to bring them levels down there.
Yeah.
Boy. We gonna bring them bass.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to have no misunderstanding.
Nah, you want to holler and shout at me. You know ain't nobody loud as I am.
We don't want to have no misunderstanding on the Mike Thompson Show.
Well, don't get it twisted.
Get all that bass out there, boy. We don't want to have no misunderstanding on the Mike Thompson Show now.
Well, we know what side of the tracks you going to
Yeah, we don't want
to ever go to.
So that's why I'm so animate
to solitary.
about what I'm saying here, Michael.
Right. I understand.
Because again, she jeopardized my life, knowingly or unknowingly.
Did that individual know you was right next to him?
Yeah, he did. You know why?
How?
Because actually, in maximum security, in the wing that I was housed in, we're only in our cell from midnight to 5:30 in the morning after breakfast is served, and then while breakfast is being served, we're being housed for 1 hour. Then all the cells are open. We can intermingle within the catwalk.
In solitary confinement, you can intermingle. You can come out your
in
cell.
maximum security.
In maximum security.
We can
so
come
they let
out our
murderers
cell.
out and intermingle.
You got about a 3-foot space.
Okay.
You got your cells on this side. You got a wall of bars on this side. You got a 3-foot space about 30 feet long that you can walk up and down. They got a shower at the end, and they got 2 telephones.
Were you confronted?
No. You know why?
Did you feel threatened?
No, I did not.
So what's the problem?
The problem is,
why is an attorney involved? What's the problem? Why you got all the bass in your voice about it?
Because if you allow me to finish what I'm saying, Michael, I can explain it to you.
Go ahead.
If you allow me that opportunity, please.
I thought you were done.
No. See,
go ahead.
That's why one shouldn't think all the time.
Right.
One should listen sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I didn't feel threatened is because I actually knew the guy prior to this whole scenario.
I understand that. You said that.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy, but he committed a murder. He attempted a murder, and he ended up doing it.
Again, I wasn't in the house. I don't know if that man did it or not.
I thought you said you were a witness.
Yeah.
A potential witness.
Potential.
Because I was at the house. I left. The crime was committed. And
you went to the store.
I hope you didn't go back.
I was on my way to the store. I didn't even make it to the store.
That's always the story.
See,
that's why I knew that.
See,
I was at the store.
No, I wasn't.
Sitting right there, watch the whole thing. Where was you at? The investigator asked, "Where was you at?" I was on my way to the store.
Didn't see nothing.
Didn't
hear nothing.
Right. That's why so many crimes.
Okay.
That's why so many crimes that's unsolved in the inner city African American community because I was at the store.
Well, it's like this, Michael. I've dealt and been in a lot of situations in a lot of different scenarios. And guess what? That's why I maintain my OG status in the hood.
What's OG stand for?
Old gangster.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a gangster. You pride yourself in saying that you.
I didn't say I was prided about it. It's just
since you keep quiet, then you got the OG status.
No, it ain't about keeping quiet.
Well, how do you get the OG status?
Certain things you involve yourself in, and certain things you do not. See, and OG status is being able to stand solid regardless of what the situation is.
Well, I want you to elaborate more on the OG. See, because when you say stand solid, I stand solid in my community as a man.
Right.
So would that make me an OG?
Yes.
I don't want gangster attached to me in any kind of form.
Well, you could be an old ghoul.
No, I'm not that.
Okay.
But I want to get
What credits you as an OG status is because of the simple fact that you're an established black man in the community. You know, you don't do any wrong that I know of. I mean, you don't use drugs. You don't even smoke cigarettes.
Well, I'm not breaking laws, man. But I go with it
again. But yet you stand as a pillar in your community. And I'm quite sure a lot of young guys in your neighborhood look at you as a G. Because I'm quite sure there's some things going on right in your neighborhood that you're aware of or that you see on a daily basis that you say,
I live
Mom,
dead in the jungle.
Well, mom's the word. It ain't like you on the phone calling the police every time you see somebody make a crack sale. But it's not in front of my
house. If someone ever comes in front of my resident on Peck and stand out and
sell
crack, then it's a wrap.
You know, 3 doors down from your house, you could have a crack house or a weed house or some crime being committed that you may drive, pull out your garage, go to the gas station or the corner store and see a crime committed and be like, wow, that's messed up. But that don't make you get on your cell phone and call 911. Why is that, Michael?
Well, here's the thing.
So I got a question.
Why is that, Michael?
I'll answer that.
Before
the show is over, I'm going to answer that.
I got some questions for you, bro. The reason I can discuss it now is because the guy, I've already been to court and everything, okay, is the simple fact. Again, I'm not going to lie about nothing. Like I've said before, I'll say it again. I have to be honest with myself to be honest with others. Now.
Except law enforcement, right?
Listen, I never once seen that man or that lady in that house prior to me leaving, going to the store. Again, I don't even know for a fact that man was even in that house. So how can I say that he committed that crime?
Well, then what are you...
That would be...
Then what were you nervous about or tripping about when they put you in a cell
because
down from
Because he had documentations, because I gave a statement to the police.
What you do that for?
Because I was ordered to, Michael.
You were ordered to?
Yes.
Okay.
I was detained.
Did you explain to the brother that, hey, I didn't say nothing. I don't know nothing. Did you tell him that?
Guess what? I didn't have to because he had already read my statement,
okay,
Michael.
Then if he read your statement, he know what you told him. You didn't tell him nothing, which is what you said. Then what would you be scared of?
Because of the simple fact, this man has already been to prison once before for attempted murder.
Okay.
And he's right now accused of murder. I'm a potential witness to get him possibly life in prison,
But
Michael.
why would he touch you? Because you're an OG. He wouldn't want to touch you. You were OG. He know you stand for something in the community. He ain't going to touch you. I know. I understand where you're going. It's almost like how the mob mentality
Well, it's like
runs.
this, Michael.
Get rid of the witnesses. No witnesses, no crime. But you're an OG, though.
And guess what?
You go.
I'm going to stay OG.
Okay.
Actually, I'm double OG status.
Okay, then
because of the simple fact, you know why?
Why?
Had that man...
Because you don't say nothing.
No. Had that man try to do something to me in my cell, I'd have fought for my life. Because my life would have been on the line, Michael. There's a difference. See,
your life shouldn't be on the line. If you guys come from the same neighborhood, you know him. I mean, you should.
Now you just implied by the deputy or the prison guard or jail guard, the sheriff, that she put your life in jeopardy by putting you with him.
Absolutely. Say that man had animosity and mad at the world because he's facing life in prison. And just because I am a potential witness, you want to take it out on me. What does he have to lose?
All you have to do is whisper.
He's accused of murder. What's one more on the one more
notch in the belt? Murder?
I don't know.
All you have to do is
was somebody dead?
Yes.
All you have to do is whisper over to his son, hey, brother, I ain't saying nothing, brother. I'm OG.
I ain't going to
whisper over there.
I ain't never whispered. I ain't never whispered.
You know what I'm saying? When the lights go out, just whisper. When the lights go out of the joint,
do no pillow
everybody
talk.
Whistle.
I don't do pillow talk.
Whisper.
That's why I got the OG status.
The understand that I have it. The understand that I have.
Because I'm solid.
The understand that I have, Greg, is to be a whole lot of whispering when the lights go out. Coming on the show and being halfway honest. On you, all the time, G. It's always fun.
OG.
Once again, viewers, I definitely thank you for tuning in, and we will look forward to seeing you again next week. Good night.